Alright, guys, so today we're gonna be reacting to why I'm not moving back to the United States after living in Germany for over 4 years. Very interesting. I see this a lot, right? And hopefully it's because they have their own reason to move out of the United States, and I think that's great. They can just everybody have their opportunity to achieve greatness and happiness, and I think for some folks that's how they achieve it. So let's see what's going on here. Make sure you like to subscribe, and we're just gonna jump in. Let's go.
My channel. If you don't already know, my name is Zoe Marie and I film videos here on YouTube in the category lifestyle, travel, and fashion. Today's video is going to be 7 reasons why I'm not moving back to the United States. The sponsor of today's video is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators. Through Skillshare, you can explore new skills, deepen existing paths. Right now, about Skillshare. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well as like this video if you like this type of content from me. It definitely helps me out and just shows that you support my channel. So let's just jump right into this with number 1. So I've been getting a lot of comments from some of my subscribers asking when I'm going to go back to the States or if I'm going to go back to the States. And that's basically the reason why I'm making this video, because from my perspective at this moment in time, I do not see myself ever moving back to the United States. I've gotten a taste of something different, and this is not to say that the United States is, just something totally bad. It's just my perspective and the reasons why I really love Germany and want to stay in Germany or in Europe. So, number 1 is safety. I find the safety here in Germany completely different, obviously, than New York and New York City, but I actually feel as a woman quite...
Well, probably she was from New York City. I agree, man. New York City is dangerous. Dangerous, folks. I don't think you have no idea how dangerous it is. And it's a shame as an American to call New York City a city from the United States. It's just so trashy, man. And the politicians that some of these people elect is just making things worse. I agree.
Safe in general here in Germany. I don't feel like I have to clutch my bag, clutch my pearls every time I'm walking down the street. I generally do feel very, very safe in the streets. Obviously, maybe there might be some stairs. More specifically, if I'm walking at night, obviously you need to keep yourself on guard. I'm not saying drop your guard when you're here in Germany, but I generally do feel safe. I always felt in the United States, especially in New York, because that's where I'm from, that
And this is the problem with a lot of New Yorkers, right? They think New York City is the United States. It is in the United States, but this is the experience that a lot of New Yorkers don't understand. And you will find a lot of New Yorkers, they don't get out of their own place. Like their livelihood and the lifestyle is just so ingrained that even when they come here to the countryside, they cannot understand it. Right? So I understand where she's coming from, because I used to live in New York City. It's not a place to live, man.
You just have to keep your bag close to your chest. You just have to really look out. It could be different for other US states, but for New York, especially if I go into the city or if I'm just in a little rural area of New York, I just feel like
you can't trust it.
Watch out. And of course, this is not to say that crime and crazy stuff does not happen in Germany. It's just not so big as it is in the States, as it is in New York. Number 2, it's actually quite easy to go back to New York from Germany. Normally I would have a layover, for example, in either Paris or Amsterdam for maybe an hour, and then it's just a 7-hour 20 flight back to New York. So it's not like across the world. It's not like New York is so far from me that I don't get to see my parents, and I am quite blessed that I am able to go back to New York at least twice a year to visit family.
Not bad.
So it doesn't feel like I'm completely ostracized here in Germany. On top of that, I do FaceTime with my family every day, so this deep homesickness doesn't really take me over. It's obviously there, but it doesn't overwhelm me because I do get the chance to visit my family often. Number 3, Germany is very, very family friendly. I mean, I've never been anywhere where it's just like so family oriented. I've never seen this before, and for me...
Really? That's so interesting. Really? Upstate New York, Long Island? They're very family oriented. This is so interesting.
It kind of warms my heart because I do want to start a family, and I would love to start a family in Germany. And the fact that things are just so, you know, child friendly. There's like little grandmas looking out the windows, watching the kids walk home, making sure, you know, everybody's getting to where they need to get to. I don't know, I just feel like to have a family here in Germany, it would be really safe. For example, if I were to have a family in the States, I personally feel like I would never let my child walk home after school or even walk to school. And if they have to because of circumstances, like I have to go to work, I would just be shaking because I would be in such fear. I have just seen such
a lot of these cities in the United States are so dangerous, man. I understand where you're coming from.
Crazy things happening
in
New York with missing children and just that whole works. And here in Germany, it's not really a thing like that. You see kids, like little kids walking home, and it's just, everyone understands that it's just a safe environment. It's actually normal for.
Let's get into this why. That's what I want to get. They say these things, but they don't want to explain why is that. Why is that? Why these countries are very safe? That's the question.
Kids to walk home alone, and they always get to their destinations. So I really do love that about Germany. I cannot wait to actually start a family here. The fourth thing why I would not leave Germany is the school system. The school system in Germany is really good, as well as it's free. The aspect of paying for university in New York, you're paying like arm and your leg. That's actually what it costs to.
No, that's not true. Come on, let's tell the truth. There's some community colleges, university from NYU. They are free now. Especially if you're not even making, if you're making less than 60, 50, something like that. It's free. Even for poor people, it's super free, right? You know, New York City education is just trash. I just call it as it is. New York City University is trash. Unless you're paying for Juilliard or Manhattan School of Music, but you have to pay a lot of money. But overall, University of New York cities are trash, right? Don't put the United States here, because most of the schools here in Wisconsin very good. Most of the schools here in Iowa very good. Some of the let's just she's just talking. I have to remind myself. She's a New Yorker. She lives in New York City or New York State. It's different, folks.
Go to university. I think it's not right. I personally don't think that you should be paying for an education. I think a lot of things, but the point is, in Germany, you don't have to do that. If you're going to university, you can pay absolutely nothing for university, just the school fees, which could potentially be 500 to 600 euros, but I would pay that 600 euros definitely compared to a 30 grand tuition, definitely.
What was the other? Man, there's some schools in New York City, right? The one that you're supposed to pay there, you can just pay $100,000 for a year there, man. I would never pay that. My goodness.
I think if I have a family and I want to have maybe 3 kids, don't judge me, I want to have a lot of kids, but for example, if I want to have 3 kids and I have to support them through college and pay for their university degree, I would probably go bankrupt, I don't know, or eating rice for dinner, only rice, because I could not afford anything else. It's just so expensive in New York to go to school, and
New York.
I think I can say this for all of the states. It's expensive for a degree, and here in Germany, that's something that you don't have to worry about. So the 5th thing is just going to be the higher standard of living. Every time a subscriber asks me why I would choose Germany over the US.
But why? Standard of living, but why? Just ask that follow-up question is very important, which I agree. Germany, in some of the videos that we've seen, the standard of living is mwah, but why? Okay, why? That's a very important question.
One of the things that I mentioned is the higher standard of living. Coming from New York, where everything is just so expensive. I mean, it is just ridiculously expensive. I just read this online. Don't quote me on it, but New York City has just been called the most expensive city in the States, outranking San Francisco. Again, don't quote me on that. New York is just expensive, and the standard that you get for what you pay for is so little. You get basically nothing for your buck. and it
Yeah, I
just
agree
makes
with
no
that.
sense. But here in Germany, you
Stupid
have a
city.
higher standard of living as well as it's affordable. Your whole salary is not gone paying for your rent or your mortgage, and you can still afford to eat, and you
Okay.
can still
Okay, let's go here. So we have cities and most expensive, right? Let's see. The number one most expensive city, it says here is New York, by the way. But all New York, Washington D.C., San Francisco, Boston, San Diego, Seattle, places that will never live. I lived in New York City, in Milwaukee. Milwaukee was beautiful. It was cheaper to live in, good lifestyle. We got like almost 1,200 square feet with two amazing. But crime, man, crime was bad, man. But the place that we were living in, you would not even think there was crime there. I don't want to get into the whys, but it's just this is the problem with the United States. It's just we don't want to talk about the problems and solutions, man.
afford to go out to dinner, go out with friends, it's all still very affordable. Things are taken care of here in Germany. For example, the roads. And this is just a funny story, but my dad and little sister did just visit me. They're already back in the States, but the first thing that my dad said to me was that, wow, what kind of like pavement, what kind of gravel thing are they using on the streets that their streets are so perfect and always perfect? How does it not get destroyed? And he's only saying that because in New York, I mean, like New
Everywhere.
York, shame on you. The streets,
It's good.
shame on you. The streets in New York,
Tell her, girl.
they're ghetto. I'm not
Yep.
even kidding.
Tell him. Tell him. Yes, New Yorker need to hear this. Your streets are trash. That's how you need to say it.
The potholes in New York will literally destroy
Your car.
Literally, if you just drive into one pothole,
Your car will
your
break
whole car
down.
could be destroyed. Here in Germany, those things are taken care of. So number 6 would be nature. Coming from Long Island, nature really wasn't a thing in my life. I never
Long Island, you didn't see family? My girlfriend, my wife, she's from Long Island. What part of Long Island?
never really looked out the window at the forest. There was no forest around me, or the mountains. There's no mountains
Yeah,
around
it's
me.
kind of.
I never
that's
was
true.
really in that scene. And I wouldn't say I'm like super in that scene, but to actually live in nature and be surrounded by, you know, mountains
Yep.
and
Make the difference.
Alps and things like that, it really just puts me personally like in a peaceful mindset to be able to wake up and see that, or to be able to just maybe walk 20 minutes and I can just walk into a forest or see
Safe.
horses. It really is something therapeutic for me,
Yeah.
which I didn't have in New York, and I don't know
I
if
agree.
I would want to give that up again. You just have to see it and be in it to kind of understand what
Yeah.
I mean. So the last point that I want to talk about is traveling. One of the bases of my channel is a travel channel. It's partially a travel channel. And in New York, I mean, it just wasn't working. To travel anywhere, even within the States, it might cost you $1 or $2. But here in Germany, we're like kind of center in Europe, and I find that it's very easy to travel anywhere.
Yep.
It's not that expensive. And since my channel is partially a travel channel, this is something that I, you know, need to do. I need to travel, as well as I love to travel. I want to see new places, but I also don't want to empty out my pockets because I don't have it like that. So I don't want to
Really?
be emptying out my pockets just to go to northern Germany or just to go to
Really, man, your channel looks, especially traveling, is a high-paying niche in YouTube. Really?
the UK. I don't want to do that. And that's the luxury that I have living in Germany, is that I can travel freely, affordably, comfortably, and still have money to spend in the place that I'm going to, basically. So we've reached the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have anything to add why you are not moving back to wherever you're from, definitely leave it in the comment section, or just leave a comment in general about what you thought about my points. Again, this is just a little disclaimer. This is not to say anything bad about the US. Again, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe, and I'll see you in another video.
Man, you know what? I have to agree with her. New York City is trash. I used to live there, and for those people that live in New York, you know what I'm talking about. Crime is New York is trash. The crime is out of control. There's a lot of Let me just be quiet. New York City, so much money there. It's so trashy, man. And the roads are bad, man. Like it's just one of those places that it's just the United States like backwards. It's big cities, all trashy. Almost, or not all of them, but mostly all of them. But in the outside of the country, man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing. Saying that, don't say never. I do visit Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico has come a long way, man. I go there, and I can now say, Puerto Rico, if it was part of the union, it would be one of the best. One of the top. I would say top 15 states in the union. It would be kicked in New York. We have cleaner streets. We have better culture. We have better money moving around. High productivity with lower payments because of the how the economy works in the island. It's a little different compared to New York, man. New York, you need to get your stuff together, man. You guys are becoming the joke of the nation, and like California as well. This is not the channel for this, but I agree with her that some of her reasons are reasonable. It's hard, man, going back. When I travel and I come back to the United States, when I used to live in New York, I mean, I almost cry, man, because it's like, man, why we have this trash airport? Why we have LaGuardia? Like, it's like, man, then Chicago. Then the homeless people in Chicago, it's like, man. I'm just keeping it honest, bro, folk. I'm not here to pretend someone that I'm not, but I'm just keeping it 100%. We had the money to just be the best nation in the world, but we had to just adjust a couple things. Also, when it comes to a lot of these topics, we never want to talk about the why these countries have these kind of things. And this is not the channel for this, right? But something that I will say is there's thousands of years of tradition in these regions, right? Thousands of years. Strong cultures. They don't have the problem that we have in some states that immigration is a problem. I mean, this is not the channel for this, but it's unstable. The culture is unstable. So hopefully we can learn a couple things from Europe when it comes down to standard of living. I do agree with her that we need to get some of that stuff here. Even here in Wisconsin, some of these places, beautiful places, but sometimes it looks kind of, man, I know we can do better. Some places are, man, I know we can do better, kind of thing. But hopefully, I just want the best for my nation. Always recognizing the bad and the good, man. And just keeping it honest with y'all. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hey, in the meantime, I will see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.